The Lobster, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, if I said that right, but he's the director. Starring Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz. And to be fair, there's actually quite a few good actors in this film. So it's set in like a dystopian near future. Colin Farrell's character David goes to this hotel that's run by Olivia Colman, and you have to find love within 45 days or they turn you into an animal.
What?
An animal which you choose, which you desire to be turned into. David has with him his brother who went to the hotel before and did not find love, so he got turned into a dog. The hotel take all your stuff and give you a basic wardrobe that you're supposed to use. David goes down to get his breakfast the next morning and he meets John C. Reilly's character and Ben Whishaw, and the three of them strike up a wee friendship. I should say that the animal that David wants to be turned into is a lobster, because lobsters live forever. Well, not forever, obviously, like 100 years. So he wants to, and he likes the ocean. So that's why he wants to be turned into a lobster. Ashley Jensen is also in it, and she plays Biscuit Woman, and is fancies David, but David isn't really interested in her. And she tells David that he can come to, a room and, they can have sex and that. But David's like, oh, he's no really interested. She tells him that she'll commit suicide if, she doesn't find love. She tells him that when they're on their way out to do a hunt, where they go and they hunt this group of people that are called the loners, who are basically single people who have escaped and live in the woods. Because if you get a couple, you end up on a yacht and then you can live in the city. That's the dystopian futuristic city where everybody has to be in a couple. If you're not in a couple, you're a loner and you live outside society basically.
I'm so lonely, so lonely.
They all have tranquilizer guns with them to hunt down the loners. If they capture a loner, you get days added on to your initial 45 days. I guess you get them knocked out and then the hotel transforms them into animals because they're single. There's a funny scene with John C. Reilly where he gets caught masturbating and you're not allowed to masturbate in the hotel.
Why would you do that?
So he gets his hand put in a toaster. That's how crazy the hotel, the people who run the hotel, Olivia Colman's character, and the staff. Ashley Jensen's character phones David, but David is out playing golf, and she's like, "Oh, you must be in the shower." Obviously, she was wanting him before she was going to throw herself out the window, which she essentially does do. Throws herself out the window, and she doesn't die, instantly. She's lying on the ground, just like howling, screaming in pain and agony. And David walks up and he sees another bird, and then this is the bird that has killed loads of loners, and he pretends to her that he wants her to die fast because she's a badass and all that, and she's into all that kind of stuff. So he's trying to get compatible with her because he's only got a few days left. So him and the heartless woman become a couple, and they're walking and they see his friend Ben Wishaw's character, and he's got a couple, but they've got a daughter. They give you a daughter to help the relationship like move forward, because that's what helps relationships in it, children. And he's like, give him a kiss. That's Daddy's friend. And Colin Farrell's like, as if I'd want a kiss. Last thing I'd want to know is a kiss for a wee lassie. And he just kicks her, man. It's quite funny. But that's because he's with the heartless woman and he can't show any real emotion or they won't be compatible. They're having sex and she wants to look at him in the face to see emotions. I guess she knew that he was just fooling her and just got with her, so he, because his days were going to run out and he was going to get turned into an animal. So he's sleeping and she wakes him up. He tells her that he's a deep sleeper. So she wakes him up, and she's like, I've just kicked your brother to death. My foot's that sore. I've been kicking your bra for ages. I'm surprised you couldn't hear it. His brother is the dog that he had, Bob. And he's like, oh, I don't care. I don't mind. That's all right. He's like, let's go for coffee. And then he goes into he's like, I need to wash my face and brush my teeth first though. And goes in, and then you see the wee dog, wee Bob. Quite a graphic scene, to be honest. Lying there, obviously being kicked fuck out of by this crazy, heartless psychopath. And he does start to greet like any normal human being would if the dog, or even if your family member was turned into a dog. A dog is your family member no matter what. She then sees that he has emotions and says that she has to take him to the hotel staff because obviously they're not compatible and he lied. So the punishment for that is that they turn you into an animal that nobody wants to be turned into. He's getting taken down the stairs by her and he just elbows her or hits her, knocks her over, and then he gets free from her. And the two of them are running about the corridors for quite a bit. Then the wee hotel maid helps him. He uses the tranquilizer and she's knocked out. He's then thinking about all the things he wants to do to her, stab her, kick her to death like she did to his brother. But she's obviously unconscious, so she won't feel the pain. So he takes her to the transformation room and he turns her into something. We never actually get to know what that something is. He shoots the maid though as well, so the tranquilizer, so she doesn't get caught for helping him. And then he escapes the hotel into the woods. He then goes into the woods and then he finds the loners, and the loner leader asks him if he was a doctor, which he says no. He says he was an architect. She welcomes him, says that they can stay there together, but there's certain rules that you need to abide by, just like there was in the hotel. There's no having sex, there's no flirting with anybody, or you get punished. So it just has to be all small talk. But you can talk to people, that's what David asks. And you have to build your own grave and listen to only certain songs that are no couple songs. And she's just another mad, crazy psycho, just like the hotel staff, to be honest.
Seems a little crazy.
And this is when you're finally introduced to Rachel Weisz's character, and her and David strike up a relationship where they like each other and they've got like a secret language so nobody knows that they like each other, so they can talk in front of everybody else. And they go to the city as couples to get supplies, and when they go to the city they go to the loner leader's parents, and that's where David and Rachel Weisz's character can kiss and actually say what they feel about each other.
Take me to Pleasure Town.
Oh, we're going there.
Because in the city you have to pretend that you are a couple or you will be getting arrested. But the loner leader starts to get suspicious about it all, and she takes Rachel Weisz's character to the opticians because she's short-sighted just like David, but she actually blinds her. As punishment for being with David, She even says, "Why did you have to blind me and know him?" You know what I mean? Damn right. Do you know what I mean? Like, crazy. So they go back, and Rachel Weisz's character manages to get a knife, and she's holding the loner leader, like, you know, saying she's going to stab fuck at her. But the other wee maid lassie there, she ends up being with the loners because she was an insider, and she ends up getting stabbed. And Rachel Weisz's character thinks she stabbed the leader, but she doesn't. Straps her knife, and then the loner leader's like, right, enough of this. I'll take you home. You're not gonna be able to find your way home. So she just accepts it and goes with the leader. Back at the camp, Rachel Weisz's character sees David and doesn't tell him she's blind at first, but then she does pretty fast. Because he would find out about it anyway, and she tells him it was because they fell in love and it was the loner leader that did it as a punishment. Now they can't be together, but they can still talk to each other. And David does keep going to see her, and he wants to kiss her, but she says that they can't be together in that way anymore because of the leader of the loners. So David comes up with a plan where he knocks out the leader and puts her in his own grave, in her own grave, sorry, and lets dogs out because the dogs will just eat the face of the leader. That's what the leader said to David when he was burying his own grave. So David then gets Rachel Weisz's character, and the two of them are all dressed up, and they go and run out the woods, and hopefully they can go and be a couple and go live in society. They make it out after seeing a hotel bus, but they get past the bus and end up in a wee cafe. But she's blind.
Really?
As I've mentioned. So David, they want to be compatible. So David's like, he'll make himself blind. So the two of them can be blind together. And it'll be a compatible match for like if they get stopped by the city. Because you're supposed to have papers and they don't have papers. So if the two of them are blind, they must be compatible. So David says to Rachel Weisz's character that he's going to go in. He takes a steak knife. He's going to go in and he's going to do it. He goes into the toilet. You see him standing with a knife, scared to do it because you got to stab. Who wants to stab their own eyeballs? Do you know what I mean? And then you see Rachel Weisz just sitting outside at the table, and of course it finishes.
What?
What did he do? What did David do? Did he take his own eyesight for the sake of love? Or did he no? Did he just leave her there? Or would you just go, he could just go and pretend that he was to her, and hopefully they could, avoid the city people. I really did enjoy it. It was a really, really good film. Great performance by Colin Farrell. He's brilliant in everything he's in. And all the other supporting actors, Rachel Weisz, Olivia Colman, John C. Reilly, Ben Whishaw. It was all good performances. Get a watch if you want, or don't. I don't care. Catch yous in the next video.